50 Cent, this feud ends here. I apologize to you on behalf of my son King. He should never have printed a photo of your late mother on a t-shirt. Going after the dead breaks the most basic rule in the streets. He crossed the line this time, and I take responsibility for him. But make no mistake, this apology is only for my son's offense against your mother. Beyond that, you are the root of all our conflict. I demand you formally apologize to me for 3 things. First, you were the one who crazily attacked my wife, Tiny, insulting her with disgusting images and cheap jokes. My son stepped up to protect his mother. You must apologize to my wife. Second, regarding the Vazoos battle we agreed on back then, not only did you chicken out and go back on your word, you even humiliated me just to save face. I want you to explain why you broke your promise and why you publicly humiliated me. Either you apologize or you face me fairly in another Vazoos battle like a man. Third, you have maliciously attacked my kids in public more than once. We can compete in the streets, but we should never use each other's children as weapons. You owe them an apology.
The situation is finally cooling down. The drama comes right back hotter than before. As the days pass, new details keep emerging. First, it was Boosie Badass stepping in, and now Charleston White has jumped right into the middle of it. And every single time it looks like the tension is about to settle down, out of nowhere, somebody new shows up and throws gasoline on the fire, bringing the beef right back to life again. So, before I break down exactly what just happened and why the streets are talking about this again, first you need to watch this clip, and then I will explain everything that is really going on behind the scenes and why this situation refuses to stay quiet for long.
They just didn't have enough evidence because the girls were young, underage. So it was inconsistencies, not inconsistency, but because they was drugged, they really couldn't remember as much and connect the dots. But believe me, when 50 released this documentary, y'all, listen, he worse than Epstein. Listen, T.I., nope. There's a victim that says T.I. tried to put his toe in his foot in up. That's why I read it. I swear to God, I read it. That's why I call him tipping, tapping, toe, tip. Tippy tap, tipping, tapping, toe, tip, tippy toe, tippy toe. I call the boy tippy toe. Tell 50 he'll knock King out with tippy toe. All 50 got to do is tell tippy toe. Boy, listen, boy put his toe. And they say, the girl say the boy big toe long like this up. He tapping his toe and trying to put his foot in up. I'm finna tell you how, you know they tell on himself in the lyrics. Put my phone. Put on my phone. He got a song where he said in it. Watch, I'm finna play it. He got a song where he said he tried to put his foot in a girl. And that's in the police report. I swear to God. I'm finna play it. See, 50 collecting data. Y'all, listen, and then I'm just gonna say as a daddy. If I got a problem with it not in society, as a man and a daddy, my boy better not say nothing. I'm gonna get on my boy ass. Say, shut up, man. You don't get no, no, I'm your daddy. You don't get it. I don't need you defending me. When it's time to go to war, my boy stay home and protect the home front. You don't come out in the battlefield with daddy. I'm a general. You gonna lead your boys out into battlefield, man? No. 50 been shot 9 times. You gonna leave your boys out into battlefield, and these ain't real warriors. They studio gangsters. That's why they run into the studio. Mr. got some on T.I. that'll crush any marketing sponsor. He really gonna have to do a marketing campaign. So watch this.
Everybody thought this situation was finally starting to cool down, but then the story took another wild turn, and this time the spotlight shifted to Charleston White, who stepped in and started speaking on the situation in a way that immediately got the internet talking again. And according to him, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than what people are seeing on the surface, because in his words, he tried to expose what he believes is the real truth, and he argued that some of the points he raised actually make sense if you really look at the history between these artists. Now, whether people like him or not, one thing about Charleston White is that he knows exactly how to get the internet's attention, and once he started talking about T.I. and 50 Cent, the conversation instantly went viral again because the names involved are way too big for people to ignore. And what Charleston White basically suggested is that the power dynamic in this situation might not be what some fans think it is, because when you talk about 50 Cent, you were talking about somebody with a reputation for holding on to receipts and never letting things slide easily, and Charleston White even went as far as saying that if someone like Sean Combs allegedly backed down in front of 50 Cent, then people should really think about what that means when someone else tries to challenge him. And his exact point was basically asking if that is the case, then who exactly is T.I. supposed to be in this situation? And that statement alone instantly sparked debates all over social media, because fans started reading deeper into what he meant, and then Charleston White threw another line into the conversation that made things even more intense when he called T.I. a tippy-toe boy. And that phrase immediately started trending because people were trying to figure out what he was really implying with that comment. And according to the way Charleston White framed it, the nickname was meant to suggest that there might be something behind the scenes that T.I. does not want coming out into the public, and that maybe 50 Cent has information or footage that could create serious damage if it was ever released. Now, none of this has been fully proven, but the way the internet works, once an idea like that starts spreading, it grows fast, and suddenly everybody has an opinion. And that is exactly what happened here, because people started going back and forth arguing whether Charleston White was reaching or whether he might actually be touching on something real. And the conversation became even more complicated when people brought up how King Harris, the son of T.I., has also been vocal during different moments of this drama, because there have been attempts from that side to respond and defend their name. But according to some observers, the responses never fully escalated into a direct, all-out confrontation with 50 Cent, and that is where the speculation really started growing, because some fans began saying that maybe the reason things never reached that level is because everyone understands how unpredictable 50 Cent can be when it comes to exposing people or dropping unexpected information, since his entire career has been built on calling people out and putting pressure on his rivals. And because of that reputation, many people believe that if 50 Cent truly has something damaging, he would not hesitate to use it at the right moment. And that idea alone is enough to keep the tension alive even when things appear quiet on the surface. And this is exactly why Charleston White's comments created so much noise, because he basically framed the situation as if T.I. might be aware that pushing things too far could backfire badly, especially if some kind of footage or evidence really exists somewhere. And again, none of that has been fully proven, but the rumor itself has been enough to keep social media buzzing for days. And the most interesting twist came when people started circulating claims online that T.I. eventually posted a video addressing the situation and apologizing to 50 Cent on platforms like YouTube and Instagram. And once those claims started spreading, it created another wave of debate, because some fans saw it as proof that Charleston White might have been right about the pressure behind the scenes, while others argued that the apology was simply an attempt to stop the situation from getting even more out of control. Because in hip-hop history, we have seen many moments where a small disagreement turns into a massive public feud that damages careers and reputations. And right now, nobody knows for sure what information each side might actually have. But what is clear is that the conversation refuses to disappear, because every time it looks like things are finally calming down, somebody else jumps in with another statement, another rumor, or another piece of speculation that pulls everyone right back into the drama. And that is exactly what Charleston White managed to do by throwing those accusations and that tippy-toe boy nickname into the middle of the discussion. And whether people agree with him or not, his comments forced everyone to start asking questions again about what is really happening behind the scenes between T.I. and 50 Cent, and why this situation keeps resurfacing again and again every time it seems like the storm has finally passed.
50 Cent, this feud ends here. I apologize to you on behalf of my son King. He should never have printed a photo of your late mother on a t-shirt. Going after the dead breaks the most basic rule in the streets. He crossed the line this time, and I take responsibility for him. But make no mistake, this apology is only for my son's offense against your mother. Beyond that, you are the root of all our conflict. I demand you formally apologize to me for 3 things. First, you were the one who crazily attacked my wife, Tiny, insulting her with disgusting images and cheap jokes. My son stepped up to protect his mother. You must apologize to my wife. Second, regarding the Vazoos battle we agreed on back then, not only did you chicken out and go back on your word, you even humiliated me just to save face. I want you to explain why you broke your promise and why you publicly humiliated me. Either you apologize or you face me fairly in another Vazoos battle like a man. Third, you have maliciously attacked my kids in public more than once. We can compete in the streets, but we should never use each other's children as weapons. You owe them an apology.
So now the question really goes back to all of you watching this, because situations like this always split the hip-hop community right down the middle. Some people believe Charleston White might be speaking on something real, while others think he is just adding more fuel to a situation that was already heated between T.I. and 50 Cent. But either way, the conversation is now back in the streets, and everybody seems to have their own theory about what is really going on behind the scenes. So now I want to hear from you. What do you all think about this situation? Do you think Charleston White actually exposed something real, or do you think this is just another moment of internet drama that got blown way out of proportion? Drop your thoughts down in the comments section, because I read what you guys say, and your opinions always make these conversations even more interesting. And if you are new here and you have been enjoying the breakdowns and stories like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because that support really helps the channel grow, and honestly, it keeps me motivated to keep bringing you these deep dives into the latest rap culture stories. Show some love to the channel and stay connected, because there is always another story developing in the hip-hop world, and I will definitely be back very soon with another video breaking down the next big situation. Until then, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and keep your eyes on the culture, because things can change overnight in this game.